Hello everyone, it's Dan here from Thomas Road Support. In this video we're going to continue looking at the custom blocks within Insight for WordPress. So heading back into our demo page we've been working with, I'm just going to clear out what we've got here. We'll move on to the next block. So we were last looking at the pricing blocks, we're now going to look at the search form. A bit like the breadcrumbs block, this one is a very simple block which just simply pops a search form into the page. So if I just pop that in and refresh the page, you can see that's what we end up with. This one has the added extra, however you can specify some extra search terms, some predefined search terms. So if I was to put, say, comment, insurance, hello, basically whatever you want, one per line, we can update that, and upon refresh you can see we've got some predefined search terms which when the user clicks they will then be taken to that search result. Brilliant. Moving on to the next block, we've got a slider block. Now this one is a very simple image slider. We can pop in, I'll just fire in some random images here, I think. They will do. You can see we've got a nice simple image slider above there. One thing you can do, as you can see in this last image, if you want to have a text description above, if we head into the images here, you can see you can, under the caption field, you can pop in custom text which will appear. So if we look at this example here, grab our usual random text and pop it in there. When we update the page and refresh, you can see that text appears. Whereas without that, you just get the image. Next up, we've got the team feed. Now this one here, but much like the other feeds, allows you to show your recent team member items. You've got a few different layouts as well. The columns, which shows different details of the cards. So if I just set up one here to show that, and then below I'll set up the cards. You can see we've got two different styles of layout. The basic columns show the social icons, whereas the cards show an email address. So just pick whichever one you want to display depending on what you're aiming for. Next up we've got the testimonials. Now this one is one of my favourites because it looks really great, but there are a few things to bear in mind when using it. Now you've got the testimonial with profile image and one with the background image. These are best suited to just single testimonials. So by this I mean if we were to choose one and set it to, say, display 3 posts. If I update and refresh, you can see it leaves kind of a, in my opinion, a slightly odd look to the portfolio feed. I mean, it's entirely up to you. This is my personal opinion. I think this one looks best when it's on its own, just as a really bold out one person's opinion. Or of course, if you wanted to, you can set that to background image for a really unique look. What that will do is place the image as a background to the testimonial. The only thing to bear in mind is the specific image you are adding. Do bear in mind it is going to be a background image, so choose accordingly. And of course, we've got the testimonial carousel. You'll see this a few times in our demo. You can see there, just a really sleek carousel of all the glowing reviews for your site. Next up, we've got one of the more flexible blocks, the text and icon. This is used again fairly liberally throughout the theme, and you can see we've got quite a few different layout options here depending on what you're aiming for. So let's choose one with the icon at the top and it's all centered. We'll pop in some random text. You can either specify your own icon image or one of ours. and you can have this link off to a different URL if you wish. So I'll just split this into 3 columns, but before I clone that item, we'll just take a look and see what this looks like. So you can see there, as we've specified a link, the whole card with the text, etc. links off to wherever we want it to. Whereas if we decided to have nothing there, refresh too soon, we can see there is no link there at all, which may be good for services, etc. Now heading back here, we'll clone this and we'll choose another layout just to give you an example. If you wanted to not have the card background, for example, you can do so here. Put one more. You can even have a card with a much larger icon and a dark background. So let's just update, reload, and you can see exactly as that appears. We've got a larger icon here, a dark background, we've got no background. Just basically all the options you might want here. So moving on to the next one, we've got another flexible one, which is the text and image. Again, quite similar to the text and icon, we've got an area where we can specify an image for this particular card. You can choose the layout for this particular area, and then we can drop in whatever you want. In this case, I'll just choose some text. And if we hit update and refresh, you can see what that means. You can see there, we've got a nice card with an image over to the right and the text to the left. If we change the layout, you can see now the image is smaller and it's more proportional to the text. And so on. You can choose to have no background and just have the text and image as you wish. Quite a few different options there depending on what you're aiming for. Or of course you can just use the text and single image blocks for something similar if you want to create something a bit more bespoke. Okay, and towards the end of this, we've now got the video widget. Now this one displays text and a video either left or right, or just a video on its own. For now we'll just choose the video. Now the video embed will be available for a few different formats of media. For a list you can click the link and see exactly what's supported. But for now I'm just going to choose a YouTube video. We'll pop that in. We can give it a still image, which will be the image that represents the video before it's clicked. So although I don't have anything specific for this video, I'll just choose something random from our media library. And if we update and refresh again, you can see we've got the image we've chosen there. So that could be anything, something to represent your video or something else. Once they click play, you'll see the video loads wonderfully. And again, if you don't want to have the text there at all, you can choose just to display the embed only. And there we go. And that's it. I do hope you have fun with the theme. If you have any questions, and do come see me over at support. Other than that, thanks for watching.